Yeah.
Hello,
This
everyone.
question,
Hello, universe. Hello, people that are watching in VOD maybe somewhere. Thanks for joining us. We are going to hop right into this next episode. First, we always want to make sure that if you want to catch up on all the stuff that we've been doing, and we're talking all the stuff when it comes to any show or anything live broadcasted or anything to that effect. Make sure and just go to our YouTube page or our Twitch page. Those are the easiest to maneuver and get through so you can find out what happened before. So we have a little playlist on there. And yes, it's easy to get. YouTube.com/time2tabletop and twitch.tv/time2tabletop. And if you haven't figured that out yet, rewind it. Okay? If I said it too fast. Should be pretty easy, though. All right. Let's get into this. I actually printed the stuff this time, so I don't have to read it on the screen. I'm one of those guys who's like, I don't like fumbling through all you guys here. So, daylight savings is today. So, everybody's just a little bit, we're here an hour earlier. Our bodies are here an hour earlier, but we're here right on time. Well, actually a little late, but that's fine. It's because we love you. We love all you guys. So, we'll get started here. First thing first, we got to have a recap, guys. We got to figure out what happened last episode. And all four of your characters were in the last episode. So, I'm looking for a volunteer to establish a recap of what happened last episode. Any takers? Any takers?
We fought the Mucky Muck.
We did. We fought the Mucky Muck.
That is a thing.
We met Finny, our new fish friend.
Who found a talking carrot and is very excited about said talking carrot.
Mm-hmm. We all started getting sucked into the Mucky Muck, kind of like a whirlpool at some point. Then what happened?
I think we found that artifact at like the bottom of the muck.
The bottom of the muck, yes. We soon realized that we had to give in to the muck, and because the artifact was at the bottom of it, which it was. So we sent our new fish friend to retrieve it, which was great. Swoop was there for some period of time, sobering up from a previous day's hangover, I think. Right?
Oh, yeah. For sure. That's, Hair of the dog is, I think is Swoop's
Hair of the Muck. Yeah. Hair of the Muck.
Hair of the Muck was that day.
Yeah.
I have a sneaking suspicion that that character is always drunk for some reason.
Yeah. And then disappears, comes back. And then what happened after that? Let's see. My notes are all over the place because there was so much RP. And then the pun counter, it says at the top, Jim 2.
Slacking.
Let's see.
In an episode,
when
Jim.
we found the
Well, just that she wrote down.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones you got.
Probably so. The rest were probably pointed at me.
I had several muted, inappropriate ones.
Switch scans the runes written to Jace, drop it in certain places. I don't know what that means. I forgot. Here's one thing I do remember. At the very end, creatures with eyewear were looking at each other and exchanging words. Looks like it's begun. That was a terrible recap. I'm sorry. I blame daylight savings time. What did I forget?
That's the gist of it.
Okay.
It seems like, it really did.
But what were the runes, the Jace runes that we sent back to the scans, the runes?
I
don't remember what that was.
That was something you sent back for
Game Master,
for
right?
Information.
That's right. But where the runes that were on the artifact?
Yes.
Okay.
The ones that you were establishing. What does it? You could see the similarity in some of the technology that you've seen before. That was kind of in your ship, but you did send that kind of to a PO box of some sort, a storage facility somewhere that can be picked up manually because it's across the universe.
Wait, we're this technologically advanced and we have to use a PO box?
In a sense, because Wi-Fi doesn't transmit from galaxy to galaxy. You know,
must find a solution for that.
Could be just regulations. Don't know, right? It might not be the technology is the problem. It could just be regulations, kind of like how we live in
customs.
2021.
Right. Right.
More about regulations than technology. Let's be real. And I don't think that's going to change no matter what kind of carbon form or non-carbon form you deal with. So yeah, that's the gist of what happened there. The artifact itself looks very, very much like the tower above. It's almost identical, except smaller.
That's
with,
right.
A lot of glyphs and information on the side that you cannot decipher. So you're at the
How
bottom.
big is it?
What's
How
that?
big
it's,
is
it's
the?
I'd say only about a foot tall.
Okay.
You know, it's decently small, very dense. So it's made out of some sort of substance that none of you have actually seen before you got on the ship. Your Halcraft has some of those kind of forms in different areas, different kind of technology that's kind of plugged into the system that's functioning. You just don't know what it does yet. You've only been on the Halcraft for a year, so there's a lot of technologies to get through. But those are the ones that seem to be the hardest to decipher.
Okay.
And you're still at the bottom of that circular pit that has stairs coming down, and you find yourself looking around, and you find it's just you four yet again. Swoop is nowhere to be found yet again.
Well, we know where she is.
Do you know?
Yeah, she went to get a drink.
You can assume.
I assume the drunk person was swallowed by the muck. Went down the drain.
Yeah,
along with
because
the
Carrington,
trees.
this would not be. You wouldn't know the. Carrington and Finney don't know the MO, like what Swoop normally does. Brucon and Switch is like, yeah, all right. Everybody check their satchels to see if they have any of their spirits missing.
And
those
honestly,
types of
that's the
things.
fastest I've ever seen her move
Yeah,
to the
she
bar.
doesn't move quick, but if there's a bar in sight, she moves very quick. So, nowhere in sight. You're at the bottom of the pit that kind of it's really just turned into kind of looking like an old stone coliseum in a sense, but it's not that large, and it still has the residue of some of the muck, but nothing sentient. So there's not. It's just like mud now, all kind of clearish. It's a lot more clear than it was before, but like small puddles of it left that didn't quite drain through. And you're standing there next to your newfound comrade that you did not know existed, Finney. So, Finney, you already described yourself in the last episode, correct? Yeah, so
Correct.
You're standing in front of your newfound friend or ally. We don't know if they're friend yet, but definitely an ally. that
And my
helped you
pet
get through
carrot.
again. Yes, and holding. the
I
carrot.
am no one's pet.
Oh, you're so cute. You're so cute.
I resent being called cute. I am full of Carrington. That is not cute. We're savory. Savory.
Good to know. Good to know.
You know, Finney, we kind of just get everybody to call him the Lord. It's kind of we like making him our Lord. So just play along with it as much as you can.
The proper title is merely Lord Carrington. Calling me the Lord denotes that I am some kind of god, in which I
Boy.
am flattered. I am not yet at that level.
You've got
call
it,
me the
little
Lord.
lord. Little lord.
As we find that
touching
Lord
me.
Carrington is an aspiring god. Yes.
God. I can see Jim's brain working for the next pun.
I'm trying to, I know.
No,
he
I
said
put
it.
just
I'm
put
trying to
pressure on
remember-
you. I put pressure on you. I'm sorry.
Trying to remember his first name. I thought it was like Charles.
Maxwell.
Maxwell.
Yeah.
So you
Finney-
find, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
No,
it's you.
go ahead. No, I was just gonna ask. I know at the end of the last session, we asked Finny to join us because she had proven herself correct pronouns. Useful to us for finding the artifact. We thank you for that. Would you like to come with us?
You guys seem like a lot of fun. It seems like a lot better than me exploring the universe alone. Anyways, tell me, what's with that guy's suit? Referring
Which
to Jim.
To Brucon.
Oh, to Jim.
To Brucon.
Wearing a fancy suit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is
Well,
this
it
supposed to
wouldn't
be a
be-
formal occasion? Am I underdressed?
No.
it's just
I
how he
just-
is.
It's the way
I must
he dresses.
apologize for the condition that it's in. It seems to have taken rather painful beating. But I will get that fixed as soon as possible.
Don't worry about your suit, Brucon. A bit of dirt just means you're alive. That you survived a worthy adversary.
I bet you like dirt, don't you, little Lord Carrington?
If you keep touching me, I'm going to stab your finger.
Oh, okay.
He's serious, so just try not to bring the worst out in him. Okay, we've seen it.
So cute. Look at that.
If you shake him again, he will throw up.
It won't be pretty. So please, just, I'm going to get off your hand.
Maxwell, if you'd like to return to. That's
Yes, that is a safer domain. Farewell, my fish companion. I will ride your shoulder never.
All right, I'll give you over.
Away, Sydney! Away! Back to the safety of our clothed brethren.
As he returns to his perch, Carrington returns to his more well-known, more comfortable perch with Brucon.
certainly higher class.
You do find, as you, I feel like, I don't know, are you guys deciding to get out of this pit? There's nowhere to go any further down, unless, I mean, the drain's not big enough to fit anybody but Carrington and Sydney. Even Finney couldn't fit down the drain at this point.
Can those two that were observing us, are they still there?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were at the top, kind of in that same section. You know where you first saw Finney and Swoop kind of peek over and look in there? They're basically on that exact same location, and then turned and walked away.
Okay. Well, friends, I think we get out of this pit. I've had enough of the monkey muck and his house. I think we have what we've come for, although I'm not sure that this has gotten us any closer to using this device to get us home.
Are the people that that I noticed at the end of the hall, are they still there?
At the top, you talk about those
Yeah,
two.
or
Yeah,
at the top,
That's
not
what
at the end of the
Brucon
hall.
was asking about. Those
Oh,
two
that's where you're at. Oh,
those are
sorry.
two that discussed. It has begun. Is what I
Right.
think Brucon is the one. Weren't Brucon? You were the one that heard them say that. Who heard them say that?
I thought it was me.
Okay.
There were, I think, two of us.
Or it
Yeah.
might have been both of us.
Yeah, you both noticed it. I just think.
Both, I think we both did.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. It's like, whoa, what is that? So whether you tell the other people what happened, that's up to you. But no.
Yeah, I mean, I would notice. I would tell everybody that happened. I was just wondering if they were still there, but they're not.
No.
Okay.
It's not like they ran. They just
Well, let's head back up there and just. I kind of want to head back up there and just to that spot and see if they're maybe they're just out of eyesight. We can catch up with them and see what's up.
Okay. Before we do, I'll holler to Swoop. To Swoop.
Tug
Anybody
on.
seen her? Nothing.
nothing.
Well, she showed up again last time, this time, so I guess she's all right.
I'll take a quick walk over to the drain and just yell down. Tesswood!
Rukon, I don't think she could fit down there.
Well,
Yeah,
I was hoping.
It's almost like you can still hear water running underneath, but that's it.
Okay.
But that means our companion is alive and not dead by muck monster.
True.
Annoying and deaf, but a horrible one, drowning.
Most
through mud.
likely she just got bored.
Or sober.
Sober.
She got sober. Had to go.
What's worse? It's very
Sober.
debatable.
Sometimes sometimes they're synonymous. They're the same thing.
When we're going back up, also I would like to I assume I would know how to do this, to find a way to at least put T4 Cole in a mode that I can have him follow me back so that he's not left there.
The battery is 100% drained, so it would be more
Okay.
of
A carry.
more of a carry of somebody. The compact mode of that series should be decently easy. It's an older model.
Oh yeah,
So-
he's an older model, all
yeah,
right.
he is the older model. So kind of the transport mode is pretty easy to get him into. So he's
Okay.
not too hard to carry. Decently heavy, but I think with the strength of you switch would be not that. It would just be a heavy load to carry, but it wouldn't really slow you down.
Hey, I will volunteer as tribute to carry my friend
Yeah, so it's like a large,
back to the ship.
large backpack in a sense. As you get
Cool.
to the surface, as you start to see the horizon, you see that there's more vegetation in a sense, more vines and more grass in the city. Not all the buildings are there, but they're covered in plant growth. Like they've been there a very long time with nobody inhabiting them. It's very tropical. It's very warm as you reach the surface this time. And in the distance, you can see like palm trees and mountains in the back. You don't see any light sources of any sort that are coming from the buildings. The only light source you really see is like the sun. It's like it's been there for a long time. It's flourishing for animals and plants and those types of things, but not for sentient beings so much. Not very technologically advanced like it used to be. Very technologically advanced, but it's been dormant for a very long time.
So there's no trace of the slug-like people?
You do see, good question. I'd say everybody, let's do a notice. If you guys are actually, I'd say Brucon, you would do a notice if you're looking for the Halexians. Just do a notice check. And if anybody else is kind of like curious about why are there no Halexians, I don't know if Finny would be. I don't know. I don't know if Finny or
Finny would be, but Finny's too distracted with her roll of 1 by, wow, it's so nice up here. This is what I was looking for when I left home.
Yeah, it has the vegetation and the smell of like a tropical island, but all of it's covering like old buildings.
Or old
So
snake
beautiful.
eyes.
So
What'd you get,
beautiful up here.
Brucon?
7.
7. Switch, were you looking? Were you checking like
I forgot my dice
I
again.
did
So I had
too,
to get
so
'em.
when I have to roll, I'll have to go and get 'em.
I think I have a +4 on notice. Hang on. +2 on notice. Okay. Wait, I got a 1 on the 4 +2, so it's a 3, and my 6 I got a 5.
Okay, so you get a 5.
So I got a 5, yeah. I'm getting it.
Both of you guys will notice that yes, you can still see the Halexians, but all of them seem to be moving away from the buildings and going towards the swamp areas and the prairies, and kind of just slowly moving out towards the other places where it's more like snail-like and frog-like and more amphibians, and it's like they're slowly moving back out into the wild.
And we were only down in the mucky muck for how long?
Not that long. According to what you're, I mean, you weren't down there very long.
Okay.
But you do notice that pulse that is not occurring anymore now that you have. It's a small, very
artifact.
small pulse coming from the artifact itself. That's very similar, but it's not. It's like it's not being broadcast anymore.
I
Yeah,
think
I have a feeling that this artifact was responsible for this illusion of technology over this place, but also pulling all these snail and slug creatures here to sort of make it look habited. And if that pull is no longer there, they're just like, I'm out, going home. Bye.
yeah, I have no desire to go. I was thinking maybe we should go visit the mayor, but I have no intention of. We really shouldn't go visit the most boring man on the planet.
Oh, he's the worst.
Right?
The most
I
boring.
was kind of thinking the
place.
same thing, that we should. He's our only point of reference, though. It would be interesting to know if, like, he's aware that his thoughts have changed. But I think he's not aware of much anyway.
That is a serious question.
Is there?
Gun.
I mean,
Would
are the
he even
buildings
care?
basically the same? They just look less advanced.
Buildings are identical from what you remember. Just now they look
Okay.
older, and
Oh.
yeah,
Okay.
Well,
the
I
layout's exactly
personally
the
would like to
same.
go. I think it might be worth it just go seeing if the mayor is still there. If he has any, if he's still there, and if so, does he, was a veil of illusion lifted from him and he's aware of it?
I mean, that information
Or
could
he's still sitting there
possibly
wondering why nothing's happening?
help us in the future. We don't know.
I suppose if we must, we probably should go visit the boring mayor. I am not looking forward to this meeting, but for my comrades, I will persevere.
Well, let's keep it short.
Was that a joke?
No one would joke about you, cute little Lord Carrington. You little fish. Little
I
fish.
told you better cool it with that. He's going to get upset.
Lord Carrington just eyes you menacingly with his lance. Sydney's also trained to stare at you menacingly. It's weird seeing an aphid like that, but somehow it works.
Man, I should show you my farm one day, Lord Carrington. I think you might find a good potato to fall in love with.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I'm not opposed to the idea. Okay. Puts his lance away.
Meanwhile, not on Love Connection. Can we go check out the mayor?
Following
Say
you.
that out loud. Are you saying that to them?
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, how could you hold back? Yeah, let's go. And then when we realize when we need to go, let's not stay too long. I'll just say that the Lord needs his sleep and we must go. How's that?
I fear that we're all sleepy in this, and we're about to get even more sleepy. Let's get this done and over with.
All right.
The
Brucon's
building's not-
leading.
Yeah, the building's
And
not
I'll
that far
shove
away.
Brucon in front
Yeah.
because he did so well with them last time.
You will find, as you're approaching the mayor's building, the building there, you do see a couple of the Halexians starting just going down the steps slowly. They're not necessarily walking at this time. They're kind of back on their belly and kind of going because they can go faster on their belly, strangely enough, and just trying to get back into there. The mayor that you ran into earlier is doing the same thing. But decently, quite a bit slower, coming down the steps. just headed towards something besides this building. You want to chat with him?
Yes. Mr. Mayor, how do you do?
It's fine.
So I noticed everyone's leaving the buildings. What's happening?
Everything stopped working. So we're going to go somewhere else.
Oh, why did the buildings change appearance?
Change.
Don't they look different to
They
you?
look the same to me. No, it's just all the stuff we were using just doesn't work anymore. So we're just gonna go back to where we were before. It's fine out there. Nice and
By any chance, is our ship removed from the mud?
oh yeah, that thing. We did send some people out there. Hopefully the technology was working while they were working out there. I don't know. I guess you could chat.
Yeah, I guess we could.
Yeah, I'll catch up. I guess. Nah, I'm not going back out there.
Have a nice day, sir.
That swamp is boring.
You are the most boring thing on this planet, sir. Your whole society has collapsed, and you don't even amount the effort to find out what happened?
It's
For shame,
fine.
sir.
It's fine. Lord, right? You're their lord.
Carrington,
Oh,
I am no one's lord, for they are not vegetables.
I guess that's fine. You seem a little excited about that. All right.
Yeah, but we should probably go. We don't want the Lord to get his roots in a twist. So we'll be going. We'll check out our own ship. Thank you. Let's go.
Isn't
Turns
his whole
around.
body a root? I'm so confused.
I am.
You did this to yourself, Marvin.
I am not going to go into details of vegetarian physiology. Just know that we work, and that is enough. Same as you.
You work. What kind of work do you do, my lord? Carrington.
Let's have this discussion while walking back to the mud.
Yeah, Switch is already gone.
Yeah,
Carrying
you guys could be walking and
T4
having a
Cole
conversation. We'll definitely. Well,
on.
yeah. You guys are
No,
going.
I'm carrying him piggyback. Piggyback.
Yeah. As you're
Dude,
going over
what
there,
did they
you do
make
see,
you of?
You do see birds flying over. Some of them seem every once in a while you see one that's a little bit larger, that's not flying in a flock. Every once in a while, and it's not the same one. There's different ones, but they're flying a little bit higher and a little bit more randomly in a sense. But you can definitely tell that they're not. They are aware of you walking in that direction. You will find some of them landing in different areas, and you can hear them, and you can tell that they're paying attention to your presence. Not running from your presence, but it's almost like, you know how birds usually fly away from you? These more like gravitate to kind of come in an area to where they can kind of check out what you're doing, and then flutter back up. Same with the larger ones, but they don't usually find purchase on the ground to listen.
Are they all the same species?
If you're curious about if they are, I'd like you to roll a notice then.
3.
You just see the one's bigger and one's smaller, and just kind of that information. I don't know if anybody else would be curious about that, or it's just like, screw this, I'm going back to the ship.
I'm that, and I can't lift my head up because T4 Cole's metal mug is right here, and it weighs more than 8 pounds. So, no, not looking up.
Brucon, being, a cat person, is naturally interested in
Very
birds.
curious. Yes. You will notice. Go ahead and roll notice on that one then.
Probably eyeing them to make sure they're not trying to eat me.
I got a 3 also.
that's what you're finding out. You're getting the same information. Some of the smaller ones seem to flutter, go in a flock, kind of go up in like a formation and then come down and check it out. The big ones, the bigger ones, seem to just find purchase in a tree somewhere, and you see them even almost kind of jumping from tree to tree and then flying back up.
I rolled a 4 on notice. Would
Oh,
that
you were looking
change
for a
anything?
notice also? Okay. Yeah, because you're worried about getting eaten. So you will find that the ones that are in flocks are birds. Not something you've seen before, especially on Vegetonia and Finny. They're not the normal bird, but they are a bird-like creature, kind of like a carrion bird of some sort. So, but they are aware of you. It's more of like they're aware and they're curious more than they're trying to flutter away like a normal bird that you're accustomed to. The larger ones you will find are a lot hairier and almost humanoid with wings. They have a long tail and they have hands for all 4 appendages. So you would, for story's sake, it would be a monkey-like creature that has wings.
So flying furred menaces?
That's what you're seeing in the larger ones, yes.
Companions, let's hurry to the ship post haste. I don't like the look of these things.
So when you say big, how big are we talking? Like compared to like say an eagle or a crow?
It's like a monkey, the size of a monkey. They're flying monkeys, just to make it easier. But they're a little bit more agile than, which is strange because monkeys are. But their feet, how feet on monkeys can grab things. These are more like 4 actual hands on their appendages, with large furred wings, not feathers, more like a pterodactyl wing with fur. And yeah, they're very primate looking, but not quite. I mean, they're not. You just don't take a monkey and put wings on it. It's something you haven't seen before, in a sense. Same with the birds. They're different. You can definitely tell that they are aware more than they are just fluttering around.
And
Or
these are
little
definitely
lord.
things we had not seen before.
Correct. Yeah, they were not in existence. At least you did not see them before when you first arrived into the city. For sure.
We won't let anything happen to you, little Carrington. And when something does eventually happen to you, I'll have to dissect you to figure out how to grow talking carrots on my farm.
And I was muted. Fuck. So I'm just basically going, you what?
Well, yeah, I'm a farmer. I've never seen a talking carrot before out of all my years, so I'm just gonna stick by you, let you live your full little however long talking carrots live, and then one day you will be seeded and spread across the whole universe from my little farm.
Hey, Scooter, what's the terrain like where we are right now?
The train, it's still, you're still trying to leave the city in a sense, so it's still the sidewalks and roads and those types of things, but it's all covered in kind of like moss and undergrowth and those types of things. But it's starting to dissipate into just like grass and little streams everywhere. It's really gorgeous with the palm trees and everything. You know
Okay,
where
I'm
you're
gonna
headed.
try.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm just gonna like quickly look around on the ground and look for the most unusual piece of vegetation I can find, pick it up, and hand it to Finny. And go, here, why don't you figure out how this works,
I
and
mean,
then report back.
I don't know if this is edible or not, and I only sell edible foods. But if you want to eat this, try it out, to let me know if this is something I should.
Well, I'm not saying to eat it. I mean, rather than dissect our friend here.
I mean, I'm gonna let him
You
live
can
his
maybe
life
practice
first,
him.
of course. That'd be rude
Okay,
to
well,
kill
just,
a talking carrot in the prime of. Or are you in the prime
I'm
of
just
your
looking
life?
for something for you to do.
Oh, right now I'm enjoying life. This is my vacation. I'm not gonna work for another couple months at least.
And you do it. Find it.
Have you seen the
Finny is
flying
finding
monkeys?
it hard not to dip into the streams and then come back out and do those types of things. No, go ahead,
I'm
Rupert,
pretty
sorry.
like.
So as you're going, you're headed towards where the ship is, right? Correct.
Please.
I'm following everybody else.
Please, Burkon, let's hurry to the ship. I am worried
Yeah.
about Switch carrying T4, and I do
Is-
not like the way that fish is eyeing me.
Getting a little heavy. Hey, sweetheart, Finny. I mean, we do lots of work on this ship, so if you're not prepared to do some work, maybe our ship isn't the place for you. But while you're talking and walking, could you pick up his legs because he's getting a little heavy and help me out
Oh,
until
of
we
course.
get back? And while I'm saying that, are there any footprints that go back the way that we came? Like, does it look like people have gone to our ship and come back? Or does it look like
You can see trails. There are some trails
Yeah.
that are going. I mean, it is used by the Halexians. You can definitely see like
okay, so it's not
slime trails.
untrodden?
Yeah, like
Mhm.
some of the grass laid over and those types of things. Some of it has gone down to the dirt, but not very many areas because it's just slugs, Halexians.
I don't have high confidence our ship is out of the mud.
Well, maybe they left equipment behind that we can use if it's not freed.
Well, digging it out shouldn't be too difficult. It's just mud, and I'll definitely like go behind and pick up the legs to help out.
Thank you, friend, new friend.
It's quite the transport. So yeah, you're headed towards there as you see most of these winged creatures are starting to land in areas kind of in the vicinity. You're also seeing other types of animals. You're seeing every once in a while you'll see like a wild boar-ish type creature running through or something being chased. It's very tropical. It's very nice. It's like a human creature should not be there in a sense. So it's like uninhabited by technology, which is strange because you just came from the city at this point. So you're coming up on the ship where the location of the ship that you guys know where it's located at, and you do see an open field. There's no swamp there. It's an open field at this point, and you do see the slime trails that went there and did some work, but you don't see the ship there. You could see that it was there. You didn't see that there wasn't a swamp at this point. It's kind of just a hollowed out dirt field that's there at this point.
So your ship's invisible. Cool, guys. Cool.
Neat trick, huh?
That was not a capability the demon had, I believe.
It is not. Yeah, this is a problem.
Is there a place I can put T4 down for a second that's
Oh.
not muddy?
For sure. It's
Okay.
not very muddy there. I mean, it's more it's like you
More
can tell
grassy.
the swamp. It feels like if you just kind of look at it, you can tell that there was something there that was wet and mucky and swamp-like, but at this point it's kind of dried up, not completely because it is a tropical environment, but it's not super muddy at this point.
In a year, we would have come up with a way to communicate with Hal from a distance.
Oh, for sure, especially through
So-
Switch and the three like Jace and T4.
Yeah. So I'll just start shouting wherever the ship was. Hal, where did you go? I need to get T4 Cole on this ship. He needs some help. Anything?
No response at this point.
Pip, I mean. Okay.
Is there like you said it was kind of like a hole, like the ship was just
Yeah, like it was in kind of it's where you basically had landed, but that place has kind of dried up, and the ship is
Right.
not there.
okay.
And
it
surrounding
looks
it
there's
is
not-
grass, kind of like it would go into a swamp. So the vegetation at the bottom, like a swamp, is still there, but it's kind of starting to kind of dry up as there's no more liquid in the swamp.
I'm gonna go
Right.
like
But it's
pat my
clearly
hands.
evidence that our ship was there.
Correct. It was there.
Okay.
You could definitely tell that. What was that, Finny? Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna go feel around as if I truly am trying to find if it's invisible. Are they messing with me? Like, what's the situation?
So Finny's walking around kind of like a mime, trying to.
No,
Yeah,
I
just like-
swear we had a ship. And I try to communicate with Jace
There is no direct communication with Jace. That like
because we don't
it's more
because
of
he's
a-
in.
Yeah, he's
the library.
somewhere completely
Yeah.
different. Maybe in a different galaxy.
Okay.
Perhaps the ship is still here, but just at a different height. I'm going to try and check underground. See if it hasn't, like, sunk to the bottom of the pit and it's just dried over.
That's good. Let's see. So you just want to kind of feel around. You and Sydney kind of go around there and test the environment. Let's see.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to think of what you would be using for that, and I feel like maybe because you're gonna know dirt decently well.
Mhm.
I feel. What kind of what attribute or skill would you like to use for that one, Carrington? Because I'm looking at some of them that could. Let's see here. Because there's knowledge.
Mhm.
There is, of course, notice. I think they're all kind of the same, though. I think your smarts, knowledge, and notice are all the same. So let's just roll a d4 and a d6 then, because they're all
Right.
d4s.
Smarts is not my forte, because I come from a medieval society. Which, honestly, we're pretty smart. Yeah, explode on the d4.
Oh goodness, roll it again.
See how it goes. And a 3. So 7 altogether.
7. You do find that the ship is definitely there. You're feeling something is under the dirt. But since you did, it's not the ship. It's smaller in a sense, and more round. But there is it's open underneath this swamp. There's something open underneath it. It's like a hollow. As you start dig through, it's like, wow, it just falls in, and you could go through it.
So I was
But
right.
no characteristics of the ship that you were on.
It's not the ship itself, but I did find something. An open space underground. Might be that it's a clue to our missing vessel. Well, no time like the present to go a bit exploring underground.
Why does everything on this planet involve having to go underground and dealing with the mud?
Why wouldn't it be?
Well, the planet's kind of made out of it.
Switch will throw off their waders on the ground that are covered in mud at this point and plop down next to T4 Cole and grab his T4 Cole's head and put it on their shoulder and sit there.
It's gonna be okay, Switch. It's just a little dirt. It'll always wash off.
I feel like I'm getting like Brucon.
So how are you? What, Carrington? How are you exploring as you find this information?
Well, is there a way into the open space? Can I just dig through?
You would be pretty easy because you're a smaller creature. So digging through is for you and an aphid, a large aphid, to dig through and get through there. And it probably about 3 feet down, you find kind of an opening of a cavern, in a sense that you can get underneath, where it has that the same substance or chemical makeup of the artifact is what you're running into, but you are finding, since you're smaller, you're finding like cracks in it to where you can get through it. So yes, it's about 3 feet down.
Excellent. I'll mark my position so my companions can find me. Except I don't have anything to mark except... Well, if I must. And he stabs his lance into the ground as a marker. Anyone who sees it will just now notice that his lance is more or less in the shape of a fork.
And saving that one up, haven't you?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Amazing.
Really more of a trident.
Great.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking either fork or butter knife. But a fork's more of a stabbing implement, so fork.
I was thinking cocktail toothpick, but
The one shaped like a sword.
No, a toothpick would be a javelin.
Or a rapier.
It also work, yes.
What you
It'd
all
kill
will
me.
see though is because you kind of burrowed next to your lance, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, if you guys are wandering around, you will see a fork sticking in the ground where Carrington was, and a hole next to it, a little bit larger than around than Carrington and the aphid. A small hole that just goes down. You don't know what happened. He did this all on his own.
well, like they say, when there's a fork in the road, you take it.
It could
There it
be
is.
left over from someone's dinner.
But we saw him do this, didn't we?
I mean,
if you were paying attention to what he was doing, I think Finney is obsessed with Carrington at this point.
A
So
little bit.
Finney would have definitely seen it. I feel like I'm not really having a role for it. It's more of like if you'd been paying attention to Carrington or cared at all. Brucon might have, because he usually finds purchase on your shoulder. Switch maybe or maybe not.
I mean, I feel like this is something he probably would have done in his, nursery on the ship. Like it's one of his skills.
Yeah, it's like
maybe
it-
we observed him doing it in the year that we've been around one another. So
Yeah, it's not
it's like he's
an
doing his thing.
uncommon thing. It's not.
Yeah.
Well, we certainly would recognize the fork as the thing he's been using as his lance. right?
Yes.
It's not just, oh, look, a fork. Somehow our ship turned into a fork.
Did we try to dig him out? It's gonna be okay down there. Gonna
He
do they
does it.
suffocate?
He does this all the time. He's fine. He'll come back up when he finds something or doesn't find anything.
That's worrisome. Very
Hey.
worrisome.
So I think during this, Brucon's probably like walking around the rim of the depression, just looking for any type of sign of tracks or anything kind of like left the area.
The only tracks that you're going to see are, and without even having to look really, you see kind of the slime trails entering some sort of construction, in a sense that like they set up some stuff, you can tell, to try and pull out something, and then all that equipment is gone. So it's pretty easy to see that type of thing, kind of like where the moving equipment would have been and is not any longer. Doesn't mean it was used for your ship exactly, because when you guys left, it was covered in mud. but you do see where there was some movement, like cranes of some sort, haphazard, like trees and levers and things trying to pull something out. Now that everything's kind of dried up a little bit.
Okay. So it's possible that that was, these are the marks left over from equipment that sort of predated our crash.
It could be. Let's. Do you have like a? Let's do a notice for you then. A little bit more specific. To see if you would.
5.
A 5. Yeah. So you would notice that some of them are old, some of them are newer. So it's a combination of both. This is not the first time that these machines have been used to pull something out of here, and it definitely happened very recent. So you would easily say, yeah, they've pulled more than just our ship out of here before, but the most recent one would be within the last day or two, for sure.
Okay. Okay. Where are the flying things?
What are they?
The flying monkeys. Where are they?
Where are they? They're all around in the different palm trees that are in the area. They haven't really sat down on the ground yet. But they have stopped jumping from limb to limb and tree to tree. They've all kind of found their purchase in their own place around the palm trees, and same with the flocks of birds. They have found places in the grass and they're rustling a little bit, but they're not taking flight anymore at this point.
Okay. And it seems like they're watching us.
Oh, they've been watching you since you came out of the pit. You could tell from here forward that, the eerie feeling of being watched. It's pretty blatant now that you are being watched. And
Okay.
Carrington, yeah, Carrington's down. I'll just give a small description of you're down in a very dark. You cannot see except for the little light that came through the burrowed hole, but it is very dark. It's decently damp in there, and kind of a smoothish stone walls as you try to go around. Because you can't really see, but you can feel that at least they're kind of a smoothish type stone.
If only I had the wherewithal to bring a torch with me. Well, Sydney, you will have to be my eyes. And actually, I wanted to see if I could use one of those bennies.
What do you want to do with it?
I can use bennies for my steed, actually, because I got bee spawn.
Yep.
So maybe I can use that and see if Sydney can tell me where we're going, or at least guide us to the most interesting thing here.
I think let's do that. So I'm going to give you more of a descriptive of where you're at then, and let me go ahead, take your Benny off there.
We're in
yes.
tune, Carrot and Aphid.
Yep, you're. It's like a mind meld type of thing. You just kind of start petting the aphid, and you can start to see through the aphid's eyes, more in a very dark environment. So you are in a very large room, which it doesn't look like any way out of it, but it does have 6 like little corners in it. It's kind of, in a sense, like a star-shaped room, but it has 6 corners, and you do see statues in each corner that resemble almost exactly these flying monkey creatures that are flying around, but in statue form, all in different poses, but all staring towards the middle of the room. And you're kind of close to the middle of the room. You found a way to get decently close, but you're feeling around, and you're kind of close to the center. But the floor is smooth, but the walls, they have 6 corners, star-shaped room, with those statues in there, and they're very distinct, different poses, facial expressions, the way they're standing, very different.
Are three of them covering their eyes, their mouth, and their ears?
No,
Damn. Hello.
I didn't want to put it too on the nose. But as you fall into that room and you get that information, has anybody reached out to Carrington at this point?
I probably would have like looked down the hole, but not dig beyond that because his closer companions told me it's fine.
I would not have. I'm sulking right now. I'm cranky.
We have a
Robot needs a moment.
cranky robot.
Cranky robot.
So as you find all that information here, it's pretty easy to see what's going on down inside that cavern. The others are, Brucon's. I don't, tell me if I'm wrong. Brucon's pretty aware of where these other flying primates are and the birds are. I think that's been your MO since you walked out of the city.
Yeah.
We have Finney peeking down the hole, trying to see, like, I don't want to bother him anymore. They told me to leave him alone, but I still want to see him again. He's so cute. And switches on the other side of, outside of kind of the dirt part, and just kind of sitting in the grass with the dirty equipment. And T4 Cole just not very happy about the situation. And that's where we'll kind of cut this scene and go ahead and take our 5-minute break. And we'll be back in 5 minutes. And we'll continue to find out what the heck is going to happen next with these yahoos. I'm going to call you yahoos from now on. All right. We will see you in 5 minutes, everyone.
And the mystery of the flying monkeys.
All right. As you find yourself in this underground, smooth chamber of some sort, a large room with the 6 corners, with statues of these winged, say winged or winged primate creatures, statues of them, and you're noticing they look just like the ones that were up top. And
By the
yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So Carrington finally realizes, by the gods fresh and rotten, the flying monkeys, my friends, they may be in danger. Sydney, we need to find the way back up and warn them.
Would you be able to yell through there? Let's everybody, especially Finny. How about this, Finny? You hear Carrington discussing this with Sydney, especially when Carrington gets loud and
Okay.
expresses that. You can hear that through the hole.
I'll stick my mouth into the hole so it kind of echoes in. I hear you loud and clear, Chief Lord Carrington, the adorableness. I'm gonna crank my neck over. Hey guys, I think the carrot thinks we're in danger for some reason. Let's be sure to humor him. He sounds very frightened.
Well, if he's frightened, he probably has reason to be. So let's get him out of there. Or join him.
I'll start digging.
Yeah. Can we ask him, is it safer up here or down there?
I'll ask. Hey, is it safe down there? Should we join you?
Do you see any of those flying furred menaces around? The one
There-
that looks like giant apes.
The
Are we
bird?
there by the hole yet?
You could be. Yeah, I mean, if you guys
Okay.
want to collect over there, it depends on what you. Yeah, you can be over there if you want.
I figured we were all in earshot ish. Right.
Yeah, of Finny for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Well, at least to Finny, yeah.
yeah.
So so I would head down there to the bottom of the depression and join Finny, and so I should be able to hear Carrington now, right?
Yeah, you can definitely hear Carrington.
Okay. Maxwell, yes, those flying primate things are everywhere up here. They seem to be observing us.
There are statues of them down here, each in various poses and expressions. I fear I may have unleashed some sort of ancient evil that has been buried down here for eons. Just like the pumpkins. And he just leaves it as that,
Pumpkins.
honestly.
All right, maybe we can talk about the pumpkins later.
Excuse me, I'm so confused.
That's what I assume. But no, those creatures, they have a connection to this place. And I fear it is evil. That is connection. That is that connection.
How large is the chamber?
Pumpkins are evil?
I'm not so sure. How large is the chamber? Because I can't really see it.
It's
Sydney
decently
can.
large. I was like, if we described, think about the ship itself. Remember, your ship was probably about the size of like 2 football fields, kind of together, right? So this whole area is enough to house that, and then underneath it, it's going to be somewhat smaller than that, probably half the size of that. So probably about a football field. Think about that size of it, but it's in a circular-ish 6-cornered room.
But remember, this is Carrington, so describe it appropriately. It's
So
a
to you,
vast
it's going to be
cavern.
absolutely enormous.
It's a vast cavern that goes on for miles.
But is our ship down there? I don't want to go through through the mud again if our ship's not down there.
No, it is not. But I do see these giant statues of the furred creatures.
So,
Is there anything else besides the statues?
Sure. Sydney?
Like an altar?
Do I see anything like
no,
that?
it's a smooth floor, just the statues in the corner. And at this point, I would like to ask Lord Carrington this: would you be feeling anything at this point?
Feeling? As in, like, just touching around?
Just no, emotionally. What would you? What are you feeling? Fear, anxiety? Are you mad? Are you sad? Or courageous? What would describe Carrington's demeanor at this point?
He is suddenly realizing just how small he is if he can dig underground and find a miles-long cavern filled with statues of weird creatures that he saw following him and his companions just a minute ago. Also, he's kind of self-conscious without his lance. It's kind of like a what you are in the dark moment. And
So,
Lord Carrington feels
while you're
very
feeling
small.
less significant and a very small creature in a very vast world, you do see as the light starts to you start to see more light coming from the hole and dirt falling inside because you have Finney digging and digging in there to see, so you see more dirt and you see a little bit more light come in there, so you can see a little bit more with your own eyes. You do see one of those statues at the other corner seem to look less stone and look more just like the winged creature, like it's shedding its stone figure on the outside, and it is the one that is looking up and holding his hands towards the sky, and that one starts to find life.
Oh no. One of the statues is coming to life. I don't know what you're doing, but it's awakening.
Am I getting close to the carrot?
I think you'd be getting to, you'd be 3 feet down by now, because I mean, the way you're a good swimmer, you're good at just getting into things. So excitement gets in there. You get down to the bottom where there's a crack in it, and it does find itself to open up, and you fall down inside. So now you're standing next to Carrington, and you're seeing what he is seeing with a lot more light now because there's a bigger hole.
Okay, and I saw her sort of disappear down this hole, right?
Yeah, digging after. Because how tall is Finney?
Finney's like 6 feet, very muscular.
So definitely. I mean, the whole. I mean, it's only 3 feet down in the mud, so definitely you see the feet up, and all
We
of a sudden,
see legs out of the
Yeah.
dirt.
legs up, big, thick, like muscular legs, and then all of a sudden, whoop. Yep. Trying to think of the Mario noise through the tube.
Yeah, that's where I went.
Let's go over the Pac-Man sound.
Right. But definitely inside there, and you're seeing that next. As you hop in, as you flop in there, because you're a fish. Let's do that. As you flop in there, what emotion do you think you would be feeling?
Just kind of startled. I mean, this isn't anything like my culture back home. My first time seeing anything other than the slug creatures, was not expecting this.
So you'll see, as you get in there, you see that one that's opening, that's starting to become more lifelike on the other side. Not directly across from it, but you do see something, one of the creatures over there that seems to be holding its heart and looking at you directly towards the center instead of up, directly, and start to come, in a sense, more to life. It's less of a stone creature, and the dust starts to come off of it.
Lovely. Do I see Lord Carrington?
Oh, for sure.
In that case, I'll run and scoop him up and be like, "You're right. Let's get the hell out of here."
For once, I agree with you, fish.
Hold on.
Quickly, swim to the surface.
Yeah, I will try to escape with the carrot. That's all Fetty would be thinking about. Like this is too much culture, more culture than I was wanting when I left home.
Uh,
Oh,
you
there's the
will
ceiling.
find yourself trying to, if you're trying to escape, the ceiling is very, very, very tall. It's not just a little. So trying to get up the wall is very smooth. You can see the hole that's up there, but there's no way to jump up there, grapple up there, any sort of
Okay.
way to get there. But you're definitely trying.
All right. Hey guys, I think I might need to throw the carrot up to you. I don't know how I'll get out, but let's get the carrot out first.
Wait, throw?
I will. It's just a little toss, and they'll catch you.
Let's not, in case you miss.
I'm a good aim, I think.
Do you though?
Only one way to find out.
Do I
No,
not
please.
have a say in this?
Right.
I don't know how else I'm going to get you out of here just yet.
Just stay put, and we'll figure out a way to get you out.
That is
I'll-
for the
I'm
best.
gonna poke my head over towards Switch and say, "Hey, Switch, we have a situation. Carrington and what's her face, Finny, is it? They're down in the hole. They found this cavern underneath where our ship was located. Do you have anything that we could use to lower down to them to get them out?"
Okay. Switch will get up and rest T4 Cole in the grass and look at him and say, "Don't go anywhere." And then start looking through their inventory. Stand by.
Digging through
Does
a
anybody
bag,
have 50 feet of rope?
long pole.
In my bag of holding, wait, in my backpack of holding. No, I
5
don't.
bed sheets.
I'm so Switch starts digging through their backpack and is like, "This is all electronic stuff. I wasn't prepared with the rope. I could," and then pulls out like a telephone tap contraption, and there's a long, old-fashioned telephone cord in there. Well, this might work. I mean, he's little. That's all I got.
Well, Carrington's little.
Right.
Finny's less little.
What if I pull Finny out by the legs and then you can grab Carrington when he comes out?
Well, yeah, we just have to get her close enough because it's a bit of a drop.
Okay, I volunteer you. You can crawl down, as far as you can grab the legs. And want to try that? No?
No,
Okay.
While you guys
Well-
are discussing this, I would like
Meanwhile, Brucon and I are like, I
I
guess we're
would
going
like
to stay down there.
Carrington and Finney to just roll a basic notice.
A
Got it.
5.
2, we matched.
So without trouble, you see in the center of the room, as the when the first one came to more of a human or life-like figure, Carrington, you did see in the middle of the room the shimmering, very slight shimmering of a glyph in the middle of the room that looks like it could be a symbol of like a map or a location or just a city or you can't really tell, but you do see the glyph. It's just like it looks familiar, but it's like you can kind of read the intent of what it's going to do, but you can't quite figure it out. Finny,
Unless I get.
yeah, when you see the other one, the second one do that, it gets a little bit brighter.
Do you see that
While
fish
they're
person?
discussing your rescue mission.
Yeah, I do. And I don't know if it's a good thing, if it's a bad thing. Strange
Well-
as it is to say, I think you might have more life experience than I, Mr. Carrot, Lauren Carrington.
The Lord.
It is simply Lord Carrington, and he does that reflexively. But no, if we need that, leaving this place would be premature. As much of the danger as I say we investigate it.
What if that statue monkey bird thing attacks us?
It
Then
hasn't
what?
It hasn't attacked us yet. So if we're quick, perhaps we can observe what this thing is, and then get out almost immediately.
My mother
That's
is
a-
right. I should have never left the farm.
You probably shouldn't have, but you're here, and there's nothing that can be done.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Well, go on. You're going to have to make the movement. I cannot cross
Okay.
that distance in time.
Okay.
It's far too long.
Okay. As you say. I'll do as instructed by the carrot.
And so, what are you physically gonna do?
I'm gonna go walk up to the glowing map line thingy.
Okay. And what was your? How about this? What was Finney's motivation behind following Carrington's instructions, or his process of this might? How did he convince you? What emotion sparked that for you to be convinced?
Mostly fear, spending my whole life doing as, I'm expected to do. Somebody instructing me was just kind of comforting. I'm not used to being my own boss.
So while you're walking up there, you do notice that the glyph itself almost could be a globe. But it's almost three-dimensional, but it's on the ground. It's very strange. It's almost like you can see it in a 3D form, even though it's two-dimensional. And while you're walking up to it and noticing that, Carrington is seeing the dust come off of yet another one of these statues. And that one is in the stance of almost running and holding its hands back. But the dust is starting to come off of it, and it's more of has life to it at this point. And the glyph is getting just a little bit brighter.
Can I touch it?
You try and touch the glyph?
Why
Give it
do
a
I
little poke.
So
Why
you're
do I
finding
feel
you can
whenever-
feel the flat surface, but as it kind of protrudes out, it's almost like your hand goes through it and then touches the ground. There's something there, but you can't feel it with the nerves in your body. It's you could just touch the ground and come up. It's almost like a hologram, but you know it's not.
Fascinating.
Why do I feel like one of the metal people would be more appropriate for this?
The metal people, that isn't just armor they're wearing?
You didn't know. Do you notice anything?
I noticed you're talking and you're a carrot.
Ah!
I assumed it was just an outfit choice. I mean, people dress strangely all the time. Who am I to judge?
Yes, I guess so. Who are any of us to judge? But we must figure out this mystery before companions make the mistake of trying to rescue us.
Why do you think it'd be a mistake?
Because
Oh my
then they would get out.
And yeah, and as this is he's saying that, we pan back to Switch and Brucon, thinking that everybody, these two, your friends, acquaintances, whatever, fell into this hole, and you're planning their great escape, your great rescue, or great rescue that you guys have been discussing, that nobody's really committed to.
Well,
Listen,
let's.
I know you don't
How
want to
long
get
is-
dirty again. That's what this is
Well, let's-
about, isn't it?
It might be. Let's do this. Let's just lower down the wire, and we'll at least get Carrington out.
Okay.
That's easy to do.
Okay. I mean,
And if we get
I'll-
Finney out, that would be a bonus.
I will. I'm already a mess. I'll go in. It'll be easier to clean out my parts anyway. It's fine.
Well,
Wire
how much
first.
do you weigh? Wire first, and then Finney. But how much do you weigh?
Yeah, I'm looking at my stats. Didn't put that in there. Know how tall I am. Don't know how much I weigh. I am a newer model, so the lighter metal. $150? Maybe? $150? $175?
I just wonder if it makes a difference who gets lower down.
Because we have no player knowledge of anything that's happening down there whatsoever. So
No.
I will not say what I was thinking.
So what would you like
Should we
to
flip
do
a
with
coin?
all that stuff?
I know we're flipping a coin right now. We're still negotiating who's going down because neither one of us want to get dirty. Okay, let us have our moment.
I love this. I love that
Let's
their lives could be in
let's-
danger, but they're like,
let's just fish the
"There's
wire.
more dirt down there. I don't know.
You
Fish
have
the
no
wire
idea how long
down
it takes
while
to
having this
clean out
conversation.
the arm. Okay, okay.
I don't know. What do you think? Should you? I go first. I don't want to. You want to go?
This is exactly what's happening. So
wire.
fine. So Switch takes the wire and tosses it down. So it's like, think old school phone wire with the plug on the end of it, lowering it down.
And
Lord Carrington,
Yeah, you
can
guys see
you
it.
grab onto this? We'll get you out.
I'll
It's
walk
time
you
to
two
phone
and-
home.
Here we go.
But no, not yet. I fear we're missing something here. What is this glowing runic glyph on the floor here?
Probably death.
Did he say glowing runic glyph? Brucon, did you hear that?
Yes.
Saddle up. We're going in.
Yes,
I would like a glyphless day.
I fear we lack the capabilities to decipher this magic. We need someone more learned in its capabilities.
Where's our artifact?
Well, I had it last because I had scanned the runes on it to send to Jace, so I guess I have it. I didn't make a note of that, but I was the last person that had it.
yeah, unless it exchanged
Should we bring it
hands
out?
or you gave it to somebody else, it was in your hands last.
Yeah.
Do we want to take that down with us if we go down there, or do we want to leave it up here?
Sure. Sounds like a TPK. Just kidding. Well, let's take it with us. The question of the day is, are we taking T4 Cole with us, or is there a way we should take him with us?
Just hesitant to go down into a big pit that we can't get out of. You know what I'm saying?
Switch would be too curious to not. So, Brucon, do you want to stay up here? It's about getting dirty,
stay up
isn't
here.
it? Are we still? Oh,
Leave the
okay,
artifact up
well-
here with me.
okay.
If you,
You owe
need
me
it, I'll
one.
drop it down, but
You owe me one.
for what?
Getting dirty again. Will you just keep an eye on T4 Cole too? Because his battery could come back at any minute. And
Consider
I'll-
it done.
Pull the artifact out of my satchel and give it to Brucon. And then dive into the hole.
Thud.
Probably.
Very large crash, right? Finny flopped in. Switch crashed in because it's very smooth, it's
Yeah.
decently tall, and a very flat, smooth ground. So, I mean, whether you find purchase on your feet or your back or your face, it doesn't really matter, but you made it there. And it does make a
Ow.
decently loud noise, draws both Carrington and Finney's attention around, and as you hit the ground, there is
Sorry.
you hear that from the ground after the crash. Who was are you? Finney was still looking into the glyph, correct? As you're kind of putting your hands through it and you hear it and you turn around and see her, they hit the ground, see Switch hit the ground. It does seem to get a little bit more detailed and more clear to where you can actually start reading it. If you could read it, doesn't have any sort of languages or anything like that, but it's more of like paths within inside of this globe. And inside of this globe, it has many paths that cross and go through each other and have little dots and locations, three-dimensional wise. But you can't really touch it. You can start to see it more clearly, but it's still coming from a glyph that seems to be coming flat on the ground there.
Absolutely fascinating.
But what does it mean?
What are you guys seeing?
Some weird arcane language. But now that Switch is here, maybe we'll get more out of it.
Does it look like the same runic language that was on the artifact?
For sure.
The same? It's the same.
Definitely
Okay.
the same. And the room is the smooth walls and everything. It's constructed out of, you can tell, the same technology that you see parts of on your ship, and it matches the technology and the stonework that you saw in the pit that had the tower above it, and it matches the artifact. You could tell. You don't understand it, but you can definitely tell this is all. They all look similar. You can't read it, but you can definitely. All three of you can see this kind of globe-like figure in the middle. That's just almost a hologram that is starting to connect pieces in circular form. So it has waves and arcs, and it has circles inside of it, and it has anything that doesn't have corners is inside of this globe-like sphere. It's a sphere.
Has Brucon
Okay.
heard enough through this hole to try and make any kind of connection between the shape of the room and the artifact?
Unless if somebody has yelled that up there, then yes. And I feel like the one that probably would have been Carrington. Carrington is very verbal about what's going on. So
I just don't know if he's actually like describing, it's a six-sided star and blah blah blah.
He's describing things the best way that he can, and the best way that he can understand it.
Like he would say, it's a huge room that looks like a star fruit. I think that would be closest
Okay.
to something that. What would you agree with
My
that?
arch
Carrington?
nemesis, the starfruit.
Yes,
I don't know how many actually corners a star fruit has, but that would be the thought process.
Would I recognize any of this to be similar to what we know about the observance?
Yeah, it's definitely something
It's that?
it's similar of the similar technology
Okay.
history. It wouldn't be identical, but and it would be a lot less haphazardly put together like your ship. But it is a little bit more ancient, a little bit more smarter in a sense.
Okay, and by the time I've gotten down here, have any I know Lord Carrington's been relaying this, but the flying primates, there's two that have dust cleared off at this point. Is
No,
that
there's-
it?
No, there's
And then there's more
five.
than that. There's five.
Five.
And there's five total.
There's six
Sorry.
total.
Six total. So the
Six
dust
corners.
has cleared off of them, and they're just sitting there. They're not doing
moving.
anything.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So maybe they're just protecting this thing.
And they're not ancient demons that have been awakened by our foolishness.
They look like demons, if you ask me.
Well, you think our ship is a demon, so I'm not so certain you know what a demon really is.
A demon is whatever scares me
So,
and what I do not understand.
okay.
So ranch dressing is a demon.
And fruit is a
Yes.
demon.
No, fruits are the enemy. Our mortal enemy. Deadly fruits.
Wait a second. Carrington, what do you eat?
What do I eat?
Here
Yes.
comes.
Yes.
An assortment of domesticated insectoid life, and also occasionally the remains of fruit that we have cooked.
Okay.
Keep your friends close and your enemies on your plate.
There you go. That's, I
for
got to write
us,
that one down.
Carrington's mantra.
Keep your friends close and enemies. Okay.
The enemy's tender.
Lightly smoked.
Oh, God.
Anyone care for some lightly fried fish fillets?
So, God, I would totally feel like my brain is clogged with all of the mud and I can't think clearly, and all I hear is you guys talking about bugs as food. Okay. So if I try to get closer to the thing, does it do anything? If I get closer to the orb thing,
In the
is it
middle,
doing
no.
anything? No.
You'll find the exact same vision that things that Finney is seeing, Carrington's seeing. It is that orb that's in the middle.
Okay. I'm going to try to pick it up.
Okay, and there's nothing that, I mean, you can put your hands through it. You are
It's
starting,
nothing. It's
but-
even if I try to
Yeah, you are
grasp
feeling
onto
not
it.
resistance, but like almost like there's more energy now that Switch has come down here and one of the statues has basically come to life. You're finding that there's more energy coming from it. So, Finney, when you're putting your hands through it, it's almost like it's getting thicker. Like it's almost an actual thing you can touch.
Almost tangible.
Yeah.
And getting closer to the orb doesn't make the flying primates do anything different.
They're doing the exact same thing. They're just they're striking a pose. Just there's only one left that is stone. That is down there. The rest
Okay.
of them basically look like somebody, like one of those primate flying monkeys, just holding a pose, and the different poses that I explained.
Okay.
What's the
You
pose of
guys-
the one that's still stone?
Though the one there is looking directly like a little bit up of the glyph, and in stone is opening its arms, almost like the receiving of a big hug.
And wait, you said all of them are different poses? Is that
Correct.
right? Okay. You guys, I can't make sense of this exactly, but I guess I'll walk towards the statue that hasn't opened yet and see if it does anything.
do see the one that hasn't opened. That hasn't. It's just
I
got
mean,
its arms
yeah.
open, and it's almost like it's looking just right above your eye line, and just holding like it's looking for almost like a hug, and you can see like a gentle, warm.
I give up. I'll hug it.
It's a statue.
Okay, that didn't work.
Gone
If I
bad.
turn around and look at where its eye line is there anything on the opposite of where its eye line is?
No, not that you can see.
Oh,
Okay, I'm an android, not an encyclopedia. I'm not good at puzzles. I don't know what this means.
well, you know, it's in the same runic language as that artifact we dug up.
Yep.
I believe you had it last, didn't you, Switch? Where is it?
Brucon insisted I leave it with him.
Why?
Have
Is
him
he
drop it
mad?
down.
Why isn't he coming down here
Brucon.
himself?
Send me the artifact.
Okay. What's going on?
Nothing. That's the problem.
All right. Here it comes. Ready to catch it.
Yep.
Whoop.
I'm probably going like this because I have no idea where it's coming from.
Okay, that's what I was like.
The bright spot in the sky.
This can't go too well. Let's see what happens. So,
Come on. Yes, it can.
come on. You're dropping a small artifact down into a cavern. So,
Tie it onto the phone cord.
agility.
Too late.
I'd say agility switch. Roll me an agility, please. Attribute.
Okay.
Remember, you might have a Benny.
I have a Benny. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
Yep. Use him or lose
I
him.
rolled a 6 though. And I rolled a 6 and I rolled a 5.
So you rolled a 6 and a 5.
Mm-hmm.
They were both d6s though, right? So roll the d6 again.
Oh yeah.
Explode.
3 that time.
That's a 9 though. So you
Yeah.
you doubled the challenge rating. So without ease, it's almost like you slid over there on the slippery surface as you saw it come out, and it's kind of like you did splits and slid over.
Pirouette.
Clink. And it made that clank sound because you caught it in your metal arm. As
Yeah.
the metal hit metal, it was like ting, and it kind of resonates throughout the cavern like a ting. So yeah, you have the artifact in your hand. You just did
Okay.
it very fancy.
All right. I fancy.
Yeah, I was figuring. Think of the scene in what was it? The baseball movie, the female baseball movie. What was that? League of Their
Oh,
Own.
League of Their
League
Own.
of their own.
Where she caught that.
Yeah, with the
That's what I was
exactly.
thinking of when it visualized
Uh-huh.
that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
By the way,
So-
Brucon's going to just take a quick moment to kind of poke his head up, look around, and make sure nothing else, like our
They're still
observers
there.
are not.
All those creatures are still there and have not been drawn in closer. You can sense kind of a curiosity and more of a concern now of them, and it's easy to sense that because there's less chatter in a sense and less movement as time goes on, and they're just finding one spot and staring all at what is going on.
So I'll take the orb, I'll take the artifact, and hold in my hand and walk over towards the orb and see if anything happens. Lord Carrington, my lord, is this? What should we do?
I am
Should I?
not entirely sure, but me and I should stop calling you fish person. What was your name? Finny?
It's Finny.
What if we smash that in the face of the statue? Usually smashing stuff works, right? Right?
That would probably be a bad idea. I
I
not want to set these things off as there are more of them than there are us.
I may not know much, but I know this artifact is old and probably worth more to us intact. So let's not start with that option. And Switch will just start walking around with the artifact in their hand and seeing if anything in the room changes with it just out.
You will see,
Justin?
as you, it's pretty easy to notice because Finney and Carrington are very close to the glyph and the orb that's coming out there. They're noticing on the glyph that's underneath, which has a lot of straight lines in it, on the ground, also is starting to glow in 4 little locations like a square that would definitely match the bottom of the artifact. So they would notice that for sure.
Oh, smash it here. There's matching holes.
Right. How many matching?
All of
1,
them.
yeah, 4.
Okay, we have 1 artifact. I can't smash it 4 times.
You will notice that the base of the artifact is resembled. Think of the Eiffel Tower,
Mm-hmm.
and has 4 bases, has
Mhm.
4 ways. So that's how it's built. So it would fit inside of where this glyph
Oh.
is.
Like a keyhole.
You know
Like a
what to do.
keyhole.
It's
Okay.
like this artifact was made for this place.
God, I
Okay,
hope it
fine.
doesn't backfire.
But just in case, ready weapons.
Maybe
You'll-
just in case you can climb up that little rope there, Mr. Carrington. At
I
least
cannot-
the speaking carrot can talk.
I
Or
cannot jump that
survive.
distance. It's a
No,
mile
but I
high.
can toss you. There's a because didn't Switch put down that little wire thing for you to climb.
I
It did.
refuse to be tossed. I am not some part of a salad.
Then you can climb it. Just climb the rope.
You just have to grab onto the wire. I'll pull you up.
I hate to say it, but Fanny's probably right. You should probably get out of harm's way just in case.
I don't know why it's so important for me to be out of harm's way.
You're a
Because
Because
talking
you are
carrot.
the Lord.
Like, do you know how rare you are? I spent my whole life growing vegetables, and you're the only one I've ever seen that speaks.
There's an entire
Lord
race
Carrington.
of carrots on my planet.
You need to be studied.
Brucon's going to yell
Do
down
that
and
if you're
ask,
dead.
ask Lord Carrington if he requires his lance.
Spork.
Yes, my lance would actually help a lot. Perhaps it would dissuade everyone from thinking I should get out of here. I can defend myself.
I'll drop it down.
And basically just catch it.
Okay. Are you ready then?
Yes.
Ready as I'll ever be.
All right. Duck and cover. And I put the thing in the thing.
As you slowly place it in there, it's through. You would have to go through the hologram of the sphere, and you set it.
Which is in the middle.
Yeah,
Right. I'm trying
right
to
above the
I'm
glyph.
trying to visualize it, which I'm having a hard time
There's
today.
a glyph on the middle of the floor.
Yeah.
Right. It's
On
in
the
a
floor.
circle form with lines through it.
Mhm.
And above that is it's starting to glow as things are progressing, and then
Mhm.
above it is a hologram of a sphere that has a bunch of curves and
Gotcha.
circles above it, probably less than a foot above it. I mean, right above it to where Finney's kind of putting her hands through it.
Like,
There's-
hey, put this thing here.
yeah,
You
and
get
then
it.
as you place in there those 4
Yeah.
pieces, that hologram moves to the top of
Okay. Mm-hmm.
the artifact. So it's sitting on top now and has a lot more resonance to it as the
Mm.
dust comes off of the 6th and last statue.
Well, Rukan, we woke up the last one at least.
We're gonna die.
And this is where they
Got
all
it.
start to actually move, not towards you, but they all change their poses to where they're all standing. Their wings if their wings were out in their pose, they're now put back. and their hands are now in front of them, like kind of folded, not in aggressive, but kind of in a folding, standing matter. And all of their mouths move at the same time. As you hear all 6 voices from around the room speaking, the colony welcomes the new travelers. Who speaks on your behalf?
I am Lord Carrington of House Starch.
Do you
Pleased to make your
speak
acquaintance.
on the travelers' behalf?
And I guess I just looked to everybody and, do I?
Switch will nod because Switch is not good at speaking.
And Brucon can hear all of this. It is very resonant. You're next to the hole up there, and you can hear all of this audio. Carrington's
So it's-
booming voice, all of these voices saying these things at the same time.
So it's coming out of their mouths,
Yes.
but louder
And
than
all at
life.
the same
Okay.
time. They're
Okay.
speaking in unison, almost like it's one voice.
Oh, disturbing.
I'm gonna let myself down, I think.
Aha, he finally conquers dirt.
Who speaks on your behalf?
As
Lord, speak.
I will take responsibility since I dug up this chamber in the first place. I am Lord Carrington, and I shall speak on my friend's behalf. To whom am I speaking?
We are the colony. What do you represent?
What do we represent?
We represent. I don't know. Brucon, what do we represent?
Ourselves.
We represent ourselves. Strange creatures that came from stone.
And as you can tell that it caught their curiosity when Brucon came down and said that. We represent ourselves and said that. Did you say it to Carrington or just out loud?
Well, I say it out loud, but I direct it at Carrington.
Okay, that's what. And then Carrington repeats it, and the colony says, "Then the great renewal shall begin."
What are we
And
renewing?
the small orb that was on top starts to shrink a little bit and sits right on top of the artifact in a very dense stone, yet see-through. Think of it as a very large marble that you can see still all the things inside of it, and it is perfectly balanced on top.
May I ask what this renewal is?
The renewal is for every planet to be reborn.
I don't like the sound of that, guys.
Uh-oh.
All but 7 sentient beings from each planet shall be extinguished.
Oh.
Here is your portal. Go as you may.
Can we reverse this? Carrington, ask them if we can reverse this.
Is there a way for life to continue and not be extinguished, save for 7?
The colony has spoken. And
And
they
what
all go
gives
back
the
to their form, turn to stone, and move into the walls. And now you are in a perfectly round cavern. And the ceiling just turns to dust and flutters beneath your feet. Only thing left is that artifact that you placed there and that small sphere on top of it, perfectly balanced.
So we just set in motion extinguishing all beings.
What you did
Great.
was found the jump portal.
Oh, that too.
So we didn't just doom the universe.
We just dimmed the universe.
Ah, crap.
I should have not left the farm. My mother was right. Oh my god, my mother was right.
Your mother is always right. You should listen to her more. She is right. Do not question her.
Man,
You
Thanos
do-
got us off easy.
You do hear a very strong humming noise going on, and like something came out of warp speed and is now directly above you. You can see it. It is your ship that's up top, that is now hovering over top. And
Well,
slowly
that's-
descending.
One good thing that came
to
out of
get you
this.
guys to basically, it's here to pick you up. You can tell. It's like our ship's here.
Right. Great, 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 great.
What was once a demon is now the sweetest of angels.
The trick is going to be how to teleport home and not kill the universe at the same time.
Yeah, so the artifact is now part of the thing now, which we can't be retrieved, correct?
No, you can retrieve it. It's an actual object now. It went from a holograph to an actual solid sphere.
Now it's
That's
a
on top of
tangible
it.
sphere.
Yeah, and the artifact is part of the ground now. It is not something you can pull out of there. But it's like, think of a marble balancing on the point,
Okay, yeah.
and it's just balanced perfectly
Yeah.
on there.
Well, Brucon's curious because cat, and he's gonna like try and like gently put his paw over it to pick it up off the artifact. Does it move?
You can take it off. It's easy to take it off. You can put it back on it, and it'll balance perfectly on there. But anywhere else, it's a sphere of this stone that's translucent, and you can still see all those arcs that are in it.
Maybe we should keep it.
I agree.
The technology, you would know, this is the jump portal you've been looking for.
We just have to figure out how to use it.
And not doom the universe while we're at it.
Isn't the universe already doomed? What do we do now?
It's very glass
sounded
half
like
empty
there was
for
a
you.
Noise coming over everywhere from the ship. Would you guys like a ride?
Hal, where have you been?
Ben. Bit took me for a little ride. He would like you to join us.
Did everybody just hear that hunk of metal talking?
That's our ship.
Yeah, that's Hal.
All right, let's go
Yes.
get.
We
Let's
need to
go
get T4.
Get T4 and Boogie on out of here.
Do not fear. Sure, it sounds like a metal demon, but in fact, it is our ride.
And it is
And a metal
landing.
demon.
It is landing, so it's not quite hitting the ground. It's kind of hovering because it's ready to take off. And of course, the hatch comes down for you guys to get on. You will notice and hear a lot of noise from the birds, a lot of noise from all the primates with wings, and they are encroaching on your territory very, very fast. So make a decision: get on the ship or take on these.
Get on the ship.
No, I just getting. Can we safely
gotta
get on the
get-
ship and get T4 coal at the same time?
Yes,
'Cause that's what I
like
would do.
said,
Yeah.
lifting up T4 coal for you is not. It's heavy, but it's not going to slow your movement. It's like
Right,
it's
but
just-
he's not down here. He's above.
Who's that?
T4
but
Cole was
yeah,
above
you
us,
just gotta
yeah.
climb out the sides because this whole
Okay,
thing
cool.
kind of caved in. The roof kind of caved down back in. So yes,
Gotcha.
It's basically like a big crater now. So
okay.
it's definitely something you can run out of, and the ship is hovering out just outside of the crater.
Okay. Let's go. I think we
Yeah,
got to
let's
get
get
out of
him
here.
and
Yeah.
get on the ship and get out of here.
I'm
T4.
always prepared to fight for a cause, but not against these odds. Abscond!
Abscond.
Mm-mm-mm.
So without, I mean, yes, it's not going to be easy, but you're going quickly. As everything you see, like, especially the birds, you know, as they're not flying up above you, it's almost like they're flying over the ground by a couple feet and just starting to swarm over the other side of the crater as you're running towards the ship here. The primates with wings, they're going into the air, and you can see as they're starting to dive down individually, coming at you as you just find your way inside the door. The hatch comes up, and as soon as the hatch comes up, you hear all the birds hitting the door, and the primates hitting the top. Boom, 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 boom. And you can hear that noise as you're all getting inside, and you have the jump portal in your hand. You do see at the helm up there is Bit. Bit has gotten the controls, has his stuff plugged in, and is holding out his other hand. I need it. I need it. I need it. I need it. Who has the portal? Who has the portal?
I
If you
shoved
have the
Brucon
portal-
in front of
If you
me.
have the portal, we need it. We gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here. So he grabs it. He starts plugging it into your ship. And as your ship is just starting to hover out, it's not quite out of range, and you're starting to get up into the atmosphere. He's still working on it. They're starting to fall off of the machine. You have like some blood and gore on the outside of it of some of these creatures that came in too hot and are crushed on the outside. And as it starts to get out of the atmosphere, Bit's still working, and you can see every once in a while Bit cringes. Oh, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. And everybody roll a notice, please.
I'm going to use a Benny on my third one of the day.
Using a
Get
Benny?
a 5. Yep.
Okay.
Awesome. I rolled a 6 on the d6.
Nice.
7.
What about you, Switch?
I rolled a 2, but I have a +2.
And you have a Benny.
I do. Do I want to use it on that?
You have
Well,
to
you
use it
use
this
it.
one or you lose it.
Oh, that's right. I do. Shoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brucon
Fine.
still has one too. He never used his. But if you don't need it, it's fine. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I use mine to look epic?
Yes.
Oh.
You very much can. sir.
Somehow, when Brucon got onto the ship, it's almost like he found that split second to go back to his quarters and change his jacket and take a shower. It's the strangest thing. Nobody saw him do it. There was no time to do it, but somehow he looked pristine. The seam on the jacket is fixed. There's no like dirt on his shoulder from the carrot. He just looks sharp.
Like my mother always told me, when entering the universe, it's important to look nice.
But I'd say all of you are noticing that Bit is hard at work, but seems to be finding getting tired and then trying to rejuvenate himself to come back up. And you're noticing that he's mortally wounded.
Bit, what happened? How can we help you?
That's not what you're here for. It's for you. And as he gets everything plugged in, as the portal is now inside of the ship in a sense of in the casing of the controls, and it's up to you guys now. And he falls to the ground. You can see the life leave Bit. his ring glowing. And you see surrounding him like 7 other creatures that look just like him, but not to where you can actually see them, and move up, pick him up, and you see all the rings fire off, and they are all gone. And how we'd like to end this episode and this arc, the last thing that you hear is Hal. Where would you like to go? And that's how we will end this episode. And this arc. So yes.
Did we just doom the entire universe?
Yeah, we just pulled a Thanos.
No, my friend, we are going to Disneyland.
I mean, that's a choice. That's an option.
It is a choice. You just got to find what galaxy it's in. And which one's open.
What's a Disneyland?
What's a Disneyland?
Oh no.
So.
Oh no!
thank you,
And Finny,
everyone.
you're stuck. Finny stuck.
Thank you. Everybody's on the ship that was there without too much. But yes, that is how we ended. You do have the jump portal now as part of your ship.
Mhm.
You have lost your comrade, the one that brought you together, Bit.
Kidnapped us.
And he's like disappeared, not even there. Like he was
Yeah,
taken away, and
He
there's
was
nothing.
you could see it was
nothing.
other creatures that were just like him.
Yeah, scooped him up
It's kind of like
invisibly.
they came in and teleported him out, his body out.
Mm-hmm.
But there was no. It was mortally wounded. We're talking like missing half of his side, and almost his left leg, and that's what it was really hard for him to get it programmed to get outside. He could almost only use one hand, but he did. He got it, and you will see he bleeds green blood, so you will see the control where the jump portal is put into the machine. It does have like the green smear of his hand as he fell down. So yeah, that's how we'll end that. Yay! On such a happy note.
Oh, way to go, Scooter.
Welcome. But thanks everybody for watching. Hopefully you had a good time. That will be the end of this first arc, but we will have more coming your way very soon. So make sure and tune into the past episodes, the new stuff that we've got going on. Until you see us on screen doing this kind of stuff, do this at home. Make sure at home to pull up a chair and make
Time to tabletop.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.
Good night, everybody. We may have just doomed you all.
Bye.